I welcome all of you for the Kalalgoda English Medium Retreat. And so this is time for question and answer session. So I cordially invite to present with the written questions.
There are 7 questions today. 5 of them are on meditation and 2 others.
Okay.
First one, Venerable Bhante, when I do sitting meditation, Anapanasati, sensations are developed in certain parts of the body. My question is, number 1, whether these sensations could be taken as Vedananupassana Karmasthana. Number 2, is it possible to identify Nama Rupa and segregate them for further development of Vipassana meditation of her merits?
Okay, so first of all, actually we can actually use those sensations, but we need to verify whether you are with the enough concentration, because sometimes even though we immediately drive our attention to sensations, sometimes you might not be in a position to very well understand or very well comprehend them. So what we used to do is we develop fair amount of mindfulness, some amount of concentration, maybe using Anapanasati or maybe using rising and falling, that kind of meditation. So once you reach fair amount of concentration, then you are in a good position to sort of sense all these various sensations appear in the body. So checking whether you have enough concentration developed. So if not, you better go back to Anapanasati and then maintain your attention at the nostril and keep improving it, keep improving the mindfulness, concentration. And once you reach, basically you have to verify or rather understand where you are. At the beginning, say for example, you might not feel much of even the Anapana, that is the in-breath and out-breath, but once you are being there, so you are in a position to feel in-breath and out-breath, then later you will be able to even see the complete in-breath, complete out-breath. So then the breath starts to calm down. So once breath calms down, so maintain that state of calmness for some extent, say about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so that you should be in a position to maintain that calmness. Say you are already developed attention, concentration at the nostril, and maintain that for a fair amount of time. And then with that developed concentration, it is possible to observe all these sensations. Sometimes you might even progress through Anapanasati. So it is not essential for you to go to these sensations in case if you are going through Anapanasati directly. So on the other hand, if you are reaching access concentration level through Anapanasati, then that developed concentration can be used to observe these various sensations. So that would be the best way. Otherwise you are simply doing some kind of a surface scanning without much feeling all these sensations. So what is the second question?
Is it possible to identify Nama Rupa and segregate them for further development of Vipassana meditation?
Yeah, actually proper understanding of Nama Rupa is, I would say, requires some more development. Once you come to say Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana level, then you can understand what is Nama Rupa, real happening in the mind. But in the latter stages or in the recent stages in the Dhamma, in the Buddhism, development of the Buddhism, so there is kind of another kind of Vipassana knowledges being introduced to the meditation. So that is one such Vipassana knowledge is called Nama Rupa Paricheda Jnana. Probably you might be referring that. So that actually is not directly that Buddha has mentioned. Anyway, according to the Visuddhi Magga and all such meditation related say books, what here actually Nama Rupa Paricheda Jnana, or what you call as mentality and materiality related some kind of distinguishment. So that happens even at this level. You can say when you are observing some kind of sensation, it may be not really the feeling type, but if you are referring some kind of say stiffness, roughness, softness, kind of dryness, maybe heat. All these things are actually the properties or characteristics of the elements. So they belong to the form, that is the rupa. Say for example, according to the Buddha's teaching, this body, all the material phenomena is made up with elements. So those are called 4 elements: Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. Earth element, air element, heat element, and the wind element. So those are the 4 elements. So you can, recognize any of the physical phenomena using these 4 elements. So when you are observing these actually these elements, you can't immediately identify as their atomic structure or something like that. How you perceive them is through their characteristics, how they are behaving, how they are manifesting. So say suppose you are simply maintaining your attention to some area where you feel some stiffness. So at that time, that stiffness is a characteristic of the element. So that is the form, that is the rupa. And what you are the ability to comprehend, ability to know the properties of this rupa, of this form, that ability is the nama. Nama is the mental side, the mental process going on. So this kind of a separation you can feel, understand that there is a kind of a physical phenomena manifesting as stiffness, roughness, softness, hot or cold or something like that. So that is the form, and that form is understood, that the manifestation of the form is understood through the mind. So that mind is the nama. So this is in a way a kind of a preliminary vipassana knowledge explained in the Dhamma. But if you are really to understand nama rupa, which Buddha has meant, so you have to further develop your meditation. Then you will be reaching, say suppose you are reaching at a kind of a chittanupassana, dhammanupassana level. So this nama rupa, suppose you are coming across in the say Paticcasamuppada, for example, Vijnana Paccaya nama rupam. So that nama rupa actually is happening in the mind mainly. So that you have to wait for further developed mind, you can understand. Yeah. So we'll going one question after the other. If you need further clarification, feel free to ask. Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, despite meditating for some time, I feel my meditation is static. I'm tightening up on Sila and Indriya Samvara. Unfortunately, I don't have a specific time for my sitting practice. Venerable Bhante, I'm seeking your advice with metta.
If I can ask from who's, if someone, yeah, yes.
Yes, Bhante, I'm always at a point where I'm neither sleeping nor awake. And then I don't progress. I think I get a little...
So, if you have to actually distinguish, are you really sleeping or fully awake? So are you how you define that you are in between?
Because I know I'm awake, because in odd bursts I can catch my rising and falling. There are times if I fall asleep, it's a blank.
Right.
So I know that. However, it's like a cycle. I keep on turning and turning, and I think I don't do it diligently enough, perhaps.
Right.
I don't know. I'm asking you for reasons, but perhaps that is it. I don't have a specific time for sitting.
No, that is not a must. That is not a must unless you are doing it whenever you are sitting. If you are really sort of paying your attention properly to the whatever the phenomena, so then it's all right. It's not necessary to be a specific time. It is good to have a specific time so that you are used to meditate.
Yes.
But whenever you sit, if you are developing fair amount of concentration, and if you start to observe either feelings or the sensations, the element characteristics, or the mind, or whatever the way, so the 4 satipatthana, so you are in the correct path. And the other thing is, you can't expect kind of a rapid progress also, because it takes time definitely. So Buddha says, Samudaya Dhammanupasseva Kayasmin Viharati, Vaya Dhammanupasseva Kayasmin Viharati, Samudaya Dhammanupasseva Vedanasu Viharati, Vaya Dhammanupasseva Vedanasu Viharati. Like that, Buddha is explaining that the Viharati terms indicates that the meditator has to spend fair amount of time. So it may not happen immediately. So you need to, in a way, kind of educating the mind. So our mind is like a little kid. So you can't immediately take him up to the O level. So he has to go step by step from grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, like that he has to progress. Similarly, our mind, even though we know the target, so we can't immediately take it and keep it there. So we have to keep meditating, and then the mind one day will slowly reach that stage. So I don't know whether are you feeling some kind of frustration, thinking that you are not progressing, or
no, there is no frustration. It's maybe yes, overall, but as sitting, it's not frustration, but it's just that there are times I think, I have something else to do, but I think if I can wait that little bit more sometimes.
Wait a little bit more?
Yes. I feel that there are times I have, although my mind says enough, I have just stayed. Thinking whatever it may happen, let it happen.
So if you can explain me, I mean, are you first doing some Anapanasati such practice?
No, rising and falling.
And so what, as per your understanding, what is the maximum kind of say achievement in rising and falling? What is the stage are you in currently experiencing?
Is that I don't feel anything.
Right. So you continuously, I mean, practice rising and falling.
Yes.
So after rising and falling calms down, what are you doing right now?
Now that is the point. At that point, I try and watch my mind.
Yes.
And then
is it happening naturally? I mean, once
naturally.
In this rising and falling calms down,
yes.
Is your attention naturally going towards the mind, watching the mind?
Yes, naturally to the mind, or very often I have pain.
Right.
Then it goes to the pain and I just watch it.
Right.
But I always want to come back to the rising and falling.
Right.
To me that is the Mula Karmasthana.
Yes.
So it's kind of moves from these three areas.
Right.
Mind as in like the likes and the dislikes and the disgruntled feeling to the pain, and then the feeling of the rising and falling.
Sorry, can you explain again?
No, the three, one is the rising and falling,
yes.
Then it kind of gets lost.
Right.
Then there may be a situation where I look at my mind,
right.
or pain. So I fluctuate.
These three?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So based on this observation, so what is your understanding now?
That it's changing.
It's changing.
Yeah, everything. It never remains the same.
Same. Okay. So after all this, now say for example your rising and falling now calms down.
Yes.
Now you start to watch, say, pain.
Yes.
So pain also, suppose is calmed down. So after that you are watching the mind. So what is the state of the mind? At that time, I mean, mind is filled with so many thoughts.
No. No. It's sometimes difficult to say, Venerable Bhante. Mm-hmm. It has thoughts, but in the background.
Right.
It's just like there is no beginning, there is no end, but it does not disturb.
Right.
It does not disturb. There are times where what is the next step kind of question.
That's right.
Comes. But other than that, nothing to disturb.
Right. So then what your approach is good. So you start with observing this rising and falling, let it calm down, and after that if you feel any kind of sensation, watch that also, maybe even kind of a pain, watch that. So let it also calm down. So you start kind of investigating all these things. So after that investigation, suppose let it calm down, Suppose your mind now naturally start to look at your mind, and just in a relaxed attitude, just look at them. And suppose one thought came, several thoughts came, and then they disappear. Say you are simply not supporting them, you are not get carried away with them, and then they slowly disappear. And let another thought process come, let it also disappear. So let it happen slowly, slowly, slowly. If you feel that all these thoughts coming and going, after a while, you feel some kind of a relaxed, kind of a calmness, kind of no thoughts kind of experience. If you can recognize that, kind of plunge into that.
It is as if I don't know how to say, you get frozen in a moment.
Right.
And galvela wage,
Yes,
you
yes.
say.
It could be like that.
Yes.
So that, because our mind is used to be with kind of a fluctuation.
Yes.
So whatever the format or whatever the object we are comprehending, whatever the object we are attaching, all are fluctuating.
Mm-hmm.
But once you are allow it to cease, allow it to calm down, then there is no fluctuation. So say you are looking at the mind, and now the fluctuation is going on. Arising, passing away, arising, passing away, arising, changing, passing away. All these things are struggle going on.
Yes.
So after a while, it also complete calm down.
Yes.
If you experience that, say first thought process come and you are watching it, it goes. Second thought process come, you are experiencing, it is going. Third one comes, it is going. Suppose now you didn't experience anything, just stay there. Just stay there and see whether you can maintain it.
That's
Whether
it.
you can maintain that without falling asleep, without taking your mind to another object. So if you can maintain this kind of a equilibrium, kind of a balance, then you are going to a different paradigm.
So to maintain it, it's your willpower, is it?
Beginning it may be, it appear like willpower, because
Right.
you need to, if there are wandering thoughts trying to intrude, then you need fair amount of willpower to stop it. But that is only at the beginning. More and more you understand this place where there is nothing basically, just a complete kind of a freedom, kind of a emptiness, kind of an objectless type of situation.
Yes.
And you just need to understand that situation. Your mind has to be tuned to that.
Okay.
So when your mind is tuned to that, when your mind is able to recognize that state, let it stay there for a while. So if you can be there for 1 minute, next sitting try to make it 2 minutes.
Right.
Next minute try to make it 3 minutes. Like that, we need to sort of keep the mind purposely there. Otherwise, our mind will never appreciate that state, because it's utterly boring. There's nothing there. Utterly boring. We interpret as boredom. So we like to take our mind to some other thing and start observing. Doesn't matter. Observation also definitely good, but the complete or the result of observation ultimately will take you here. So Buddha says, these observations are just to sort of empower us, to enlighten us that these are utter garbage. These are constantly changing. So why are you holding these constantly changing phenomena? If you are holding them, you will suffer. So it's a kind of a education that we are going through. So we first need to understand these phenomena, how they behave. So once we recognize that, so our mind has the kind of its inbuilt kind of capacity. So once it recognizes, it will slowly go away, or simply let it go. So you can't force it also. You can learn, you can read many books and understand the theory, but mind will never let it go. So in order for mind to let it go, you have to educate the mind. That is, the meditation is required. So you are giving certain raw material for mind to keep observing. So it will keep observing, rising and passing, rising and one day it will understand, okay, no point, it's useless. So and then it will slowly kind of, the phenomena will appear like fading away, like blurred, no demarcations. It's kind of boredom. You interpret that at the beginning, it's like a boredom. So you have to utterly bored.
I have experienced shades of that.
Yes.
You know, you're in and out. I think what happens is when I come to that, I'm looking for thoughts. You know, sometimes, as you were now saying.
That is a mistake.
That is a mistake.
If there is no thoughts, stay there in that calmness.
Yeah.
So we don't need to invite the thoughts.
Yeah.
If they are coming naturally, no harm. So you are allowing them to come, let it be, and then let it go. So it's kind of a relaxed attitude. So you are not even sort of trying to stop them. And again, once they come, you are not supporting them either. So then they simply go away. So it's a kind of a passage. Your mind is like a passage where it's simply a kind of a tunnel. It's coming in and it is going away. No remainder. Okay. So
Thank you, Venerable Bhante.
Yeah.
Theruvan Saranai, Venerable Bhante, in rising and falling of the abdomen meditation, do you get samadhi like in Anapanasati, within brackets of breath? Can you please explain the term Vipassana Samadhi? Is it what you get in meditation of rising and falling of abdomen with metta?
So actually rising and falling itself, that meditation object also develop fair amount of concentration, but you can't side by side you can't compare that with the Anapanasati concentration, because Anapanasati concentration is more subtle, and it is very much at the beginning it mostly developed through the Samatha side, where you are taking kind of a sign, and then that sign appears like kind of a stable, permanent, and then that sign would be your kind of concentration object, your meditation object. Through that you are getting some kind of a more samatha or tranquility type of meditation, tranquility kind of concentration. But on the other hand, rising and falling, so that is a constant change. So it will never stop. So you are simply being with the continuous process, and you are observing each and every process. Rising, complete process. Falling, complete process. Rising, complete process. Falling, complete process. And these are constantly changing. Still there is a concentration being developed. So the mindfulness is there continuously, but the object of your meditation constantly changing. Suppose during the beginning it may appear like coming forward, and in the middle it may be fast movement, and at the end it is kind of a stopping, kind of a stiffness. Maybe in between the completion of rising and the next beginning of the falling, there's a kind of a relaxed area. Then the complete relaxing starts, or coming down, the coming back process starts, and then again the movement, and again the completion, then again kind of a relaxed state. So these are all constantly changing phenomena, but even though all these things are changing, you are maintaining the continuous mindfulness. So this continuous maintenance of mindfulness ultimately take you to a kind of a concentration. It is also access concentration, and it is a kind of a different concentration. You can't compare that with Anapanasati concentration. But in a way, this is one type of vipassana concentration. But more advanced or more profound vipassana concentrations are there once you reach emptiness, once you reach signless states, kind of desireless states. So those are the vipassana concentrations that Buddha says that one needs to target for, or one needs to familiarize, one needs to develop, so that will lead to kind of elimination of the defilements. So those are the mostly vipassana type of concentrations that we are looking forward. Yes.
Venerable Bhante, can you please guide me to the sutta or Nikaya which expounds in detail on walking meditation? Much merit.
On walking meditation? talks about walking meditation?
Yeah, the Sutta or the Nikaya which expounds in detail on walking meditation.
So actually there is one sutta comes in Anguttara Nikaya, Panchaka Nipada, the fifth Nipata, which talks about the benefits of walking meditation. So it does not actually explain the technique. It does not explain in detail how you do walking meditation. But what it explains is the benefits. So it's called Chankamanani Sansa Sutta. Literally it means the benefits of the walking meditation. That is the Pali term. So there Buddha explains 5 benefits. First one is the Adhanakkhamo hoti, where one gets the ability to do long walking. So you know, during the Buddha's time, during good old days, so we didn't have all these sophisticated transport facilities. So all your transport is through your 2 legs. So you have to walk. So if one has the ability to walk long distance, so that's a skill. So through walking meditation, you are getting that skill. So that is the first benefit Buddha is telling. And then the second benefit, Padhanakkamo hoti, where you have the ability to continue a practice with diligence, with effort. Padhana means, because in your practice there are some ups and downs, there are certain obstacles. So all these obstacles, ups and downs, you have to face. So you have to, maintain your goal and continuously practice. It may be not several months, it may be several years. So you need fair amount of effort for this practice, and that is called padhana virya. So that unwavering kind of effort, relentless effort, is a skill. So that skill being developed in the walking meditation, that is a benefit. Then appabado hoti, that is so your body will become less with fairly your body will be healthy. So that's the less ailments. And then asite pite kaite saite samma parinamam gacchati, where what you eat, what you drink, all these things you will easily digest. So that is the 4th benefit. Your digestion will be smooth. And then the 5th benefit is Chankamanadi gato samadhi chirattitiko hoti, where the concentration developed through walking meditation is long lasting. So that is the 5th benefit. How you do walking meditation is not directly, I didn't come across any sutta directly explaining step by step how you do walking meditation. But it is explained in by various teachers, and so of course the target is that you are having some sensations, and it's a kind of a continuous process, changing process, and then and there you have to develop mindfulness. Then and there you have to maintain your attention at the sensations, and then you are developing mindfulness. So even though Buddha didn't go to that detail explaining how you do walking meditation, so the benefits are mentioned, and again the method explained by the teachers are very well proved. It is not something that you need to experiment again. So those are proven methods. So don't worry about the methods. Yes. Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, what is the difference between knowledge and wisdom, and how does one achieve the latter?
Yeah, actually knowledge we all have. So you gather knowledge through books, through reading, through listening, and all these are knowledge. So we are in the knowledge base now. So you just go to internet and you have all the knowledge. So it's not difficult as before, and there are millions of books everywhere. Libraries are available, so knowledge is freely available now. But the wisdom what Buddha talks is entirely a different thing, and you might even don't need knowledge to have that wisdom. So in the wisdom side, and in general Buddha talks about Sutame Jnana, Chintame Jnana, and Bhavaname Jnana. Sutame Jnana is kind of learnedness. So you are absorbing through reading, through listening, and that is the gathering of the knowledge. And then the Chintamaya Jnana, once you gather this knowledge, you internally you do some kind of a contemplation, analyzing, rationalizing all these things, kind of a contemplative knowledge. So that is also important. And then the last and the most profound, important is the Bhavanamaya Jnana. That's the more kind of a wisdom which is coming through practice. That is your own. That is your own kind of knowledge. You can't, rather than, you can use it as also knowledge. So this knowledge you need to experience. You need to, little by little, you need to comprehend through your own experience. So Buddha may tell you the guidelines, but according to his guidelines, you have to step by step, you have to allow it to kind of blossom in your mind. And on the other hand, in another sutta, it's called Chunky Sutta, where Buddha talks about 5 types of knowledge. So one is coming through the teachers, where the teacher is telling and all these things coming from the generation to generation, and you have some accumulated knowledge coming from the generations, from the lineage. And then another one called Akara Parivitakka, that somewhat closer to this Chintamaya Jnana, where you, based on the gathered knowledge, you do some internal reflections, contemplations, and then you feel, so another understanding. Then Anussavana is mentioned. That is like through listening. Someone is telling, reading, another one is listening. So likewise, you can gather knowledge. So these are the ways of gathering knowledge. Ditti Nijjanakkanti. So that is, so you are absorbing a kind of a teaching, kind of a belief, and accordingly you are accumulating certain knowledge only in that region, only in that attention, in that focus. And Buddha mentioned another one, so that is based on your own practice, based on your own reflection. Say you are, so when, say for example, when greed is available in the mind, so you look at that, you look at it, and you understand there's greed available. Suppose then the generosity available in the mind, you look at that and you understand generosity is available. So likewise, a kind of a direct knowledge. It is not kind of a borrowed knowledge. It is yours. It is you don't need anyone to verify it. So you yourself can reflect, and you very well know right now what is the state of the mind. So Buddha says, among all these, so this direct knowledge is something that we have to target, because all other knowledges are available and they all go away. And it's a matter of filling your mind with various perceptions, various signs. So if you consider today's knowledge, maybe information technology, maybe other types of various skills, maybe medical regions, maybe engineering, maybe law, maybe history, all these things are actually accumulated in your mind as signs, as kind of perceptions. But the knowledge or the wisdom what Buddha talks does not accumulate signs in the mind. So rather all the signs are fading away. So your mind becomes more pure, kind of, so Buddha says it's kind of luminous. So your mind is more relaxed, more freedom, and no signs. So if you have to think about kind of a mind which is more cluttered and filled with various things, and that person is given a question, okay, kind of a problem he is facing. Suppose another person whose mind is extremely clear and free from defilements, no signs, no perceptions, no biasing kind of thing, extremely mindful and awake, kind of diligence is there. Suppose he is facing the same problem. Which one would you think taking the good decision? The second, right? His mind is empty in a sense. His mind is empty, but that does not mean he is a fool. So he has all this stored information available, but right now if it is necessary, he can maintain kind of a free mind and look at the situations available, look at with a kind of unbiased way. He can look at various possibilities, what are the different aspects of the problem, and based on his past experience also, maybe with the access of the other knowledges, the present day knowledges of course, he can get the best decision. So that is the wisdom, and that wisdom actually can eliminate the defilements and all these things. So in the Buddha's teaching, so there are such vipassana knowledges are also mentioned, and the wisdom is the development of these various kind of understandings. So actually we can't deny book knowledge, we can't deny the knowledge that you are gathering through listening to Dhamma. So that should not be taken as the front. So your experiential knowledge has to go in the front, so that may be testified, that may be approved by the book knowledge according to the Buddha's teaching. So then you are very sure that you are not going in the wrong direction. So it is and again you will be quite happy to see that what you are experiencing today is well explained by the Buddha according to Dhamma. Then you will get real joy, because he has seen so clearly these states of mind. So then you are very much comfortable. You can go forward with confidence. Yeah.
This is a comment. Some fans are too fast. That bothers me a bit, as my breath is subtle.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Some fans are too fast. That bothers me a bit, as my breath is subtle.
Probably there are places without fans. You can try. You can try finding such place. So that's my comment. So maybe you can go outside and have a kind of a this natural environment where there is no the electric fans. So I feel that would be that makes you more comfortable. Yes, because even hot here, so you just try outside. Yeah.
Okay. Venerable Bhante, there are newcomers in this retreat. Please give a summarized explanation on sitting and walking meditation.
Okay. Yeah, actually, sorry if I directly take you to the so the first question has to be asked at the last. So I am sorry. So that is the clever organizers. So anyway, so here basically we give priority for mindfulness development. So it is not targeting any kind of a development of deep concentration, rather give priority for developing mindfulness. So difference is in the concentration oriented meditation, so we are using one object, and again your mind is diverted, your mind being applied to that particular object, and that is being cultivated in the mind. So ultimately you will be concentrated to that object. But here what we do mostly is maintaining continuous mindfulness, but with many objects. So that is the difference in the vipassana mainly, where you experience, say for example in walking meditation, keep your eyes little open, and suppose you are selecting a walking path, and just in a relaxed attitude just have a walk without thinking that you are doing any kind of meditation. And once you are familiar with this walking path, then slowly starts to feel what you are actually experiencing. Say while you are walking, your left foot is touching the ground. So what you feel? It's not difficult actually. It is fairly simple. So don't make it complicated. So just forget about all the knowledge what you have accumulated. Just keep them aside for a while, just for 3 days, and then just when your foot is touching the ground, what are you feeling? Just keep your attention there in a very fresh, natural way, in a very relaxed way. And when your right foot is touching, just keep your mind there. You keep your attention there. Again, when your left foot is touching, keep your attention there. When your right foot is touching, keep your attention there. So slowly make your mind more and more simple, because our mind will never appreciate this simplicity. Remember that. So our mind always looking for some complication, some complex, some kind of complicated formula. But meditation, remember, will go deeper. Mind will go for some profound understanding only if it is becomes so simple, kind of free from any kind of these complicated or kind of complexities. So it has to be fairly light. You need to feel light in your mind. You need to feel relaxed in your mind. And it has to be in the present moment. So our body is always in the present. Our mind is actually always jumping either to the past or to the future. So we are using our body as an anchoring point for developing this mindfulness which is in the present moment. So while walking, so body is walking, check whether your mind also take back to this walking, rather than while body is walking thinking about at your home, maybe about your job or whatever things. So don't allow mind to distract like that. Just try to be with walking. While body is walking, try to be with walking. While body is sitting, try to be with sitting. While say body is lying down, try to be with lying down. While body is sitting, just be in this sitting. So it's that simple. So that is what Buddha is telling in the Iriyapata Pabba in Satipatthana Sutta. Gaccantova gaccantom hiti pajanati. Nisinnova nisinnom hiti pajanati. Sayanova sayanom hiti pajanati. Tittantova, or can't remember that. So basically, while you are sitting, just know that you are sitting. While you are walking, just know that you are walking. While you are lying down, just know that you are lying down, like that. So it is fairly simple. So try checking whether you can take your attention to this simple experience. And while walking, so when your soles are touching the ground, feel what you actually experience. So you may be experiencing, if it is a sandy floor, you may experience some kind of grossness. If it is wet floor, you may experience that. If it is exposed to sun, you may experience some kind of hot heat. So just check whether you can experience these things. If your mind distracts outside, slowly take it back. So it's natural for our minds to go outside, because what we are experiencing is not something very dramatic, not something kind of adventurous. It's kind of a boring experience. It's a kind of a normal, very boring, very neutral experience. So our mind will never appreciate it. So therefore, keep training it. Keep restraining in this fairly boring, fairly natural, very relaxed, boring experience. If more and more you do it, your mind become more and more sensitive. Say if your mind is extremely gross, then if you are to be happy, you need very gross happiness. Say your mind are very gross and very kind of strong, then you can't be happy with some simple things. But if in our childhood, we can even happy when if a butterfly goes, if a flower is there, if wind blows, we can be happy. But as adults, we can't, because our minds are now complicated, so we have lost that joy. So through meditation, so we are opening, we are going back to that freedom, we are touching that freshness, we are coming back to that innocence. So, and in the sitting also, just sit comfortably in a very comfortable posture, and let go of the past, let go of the future, and coming back to the present moment, and see what you are feeling. You may feel that your buttocks are touching the cushion. You may feel that the arms are touching each other. You may feel that you are sitting cross-legged, or you are sitting on the chair. So all these things are indications that you are in the present moment. they are not complex. They are the parameters defining that you are in the present moment. So first know them. And more you are with them, then you will understand some natural processes are available in the body. One thing is the breathing, in breath and out breath. It's a natural process. Either even if you are sleeping, it is going on. So is it possible for you to maintain your attention in this natural breathing process? So that is Anapanasati, where you are maintaining your attention at the nostril and being aware when the in-breath is happening. Being aware when the out-breath is happening. Being aware when the in-breath is happening. Being aware in the out-breath is happening. Similarly, if it is difficult, as you're breathing in, your abdomen little come forward. It's rising. So just be aware in this rising process. And as you breathe out, it will come back or falling. So just be aware in this falling. So you can start with this. So I feel that for a beginner it is enough. So if you can maintain this, if you can again and again, if your mind get distracted, bring it back to this rising and falling, or bring it back to this in breath and out breath, your mind starts to appreciate it. Your mind starts to be with this process rather than going out. Because why our mind going out is because that it is used to all these distractions. Even though it will be get frustrated, even though it is being tormented in this all external experience, still it will go. But when you are introducing this new process, this calm process, slowly it will understand the benefit. So it will take some time, of course. You need some patience for you to again and again take it back, again and again train the mind. So till your mind himself or itself understand it is better to stay at home rather than going out. Okay, so I think that is enough. Yeah. So okay, thank you very much for listening. So we'll meet you again at around 4 o'clock for the Dhamma sermon. Thank you very much.